Our first episode was the meeting with Jesus forsaken in Dori's house. A meeting which this time we will leave her to tell. She wrote this for me. She says, "We used to go to visit the poor, and probably from one of them, I caught a skin infection on my face. I was covered with sores, and the medicines I was given were unable to stop the disease. However, with my face carefully protected, I carried on going to Mass and to our meetings on Saturdays. The weather was cold, and it could have been dangerous to go out in it. Because my parents, in consequence, forbade me to do so, Chiara asked a Capuchin priest to bring me communion. During my Thanksgiving after communion, the priest asked Chiara when, in her opinion, Jesus had suffered most during the Passion. She replied that she had always heard that it was the agony he had suffered in the Garden of Gethsemane.
Ma il sacerdote, io credo invece che sia stato quello in croce quando ha gridato, Dio mio, perché mi hai abbandonato?"
But the priest said, "I believe instead that it was his suffering on the cross when he cried out, 'My God, why have you forsaken me?'" Dori continues, "As soon as the priest had left, having heard Chiara's words, I turned to her, sure that she would give me an explanation. She said to me, 'If Jesus' greatest suffering was when he was forsaken by his Father, we will choose him like this as our ideal, and will follow him in this way.' In that moment," Dori continues, "the conviction that Jesus, with his face in torment, crying out to the Father, was our ideal, became impressed in my mind and in my imagination." She's a papa who has a lot of imagination. "And my poor facial sores, that appeared to me like shadows of his pain, gave me joy, because they made me a little like him." From that day onwards, Chiara often, indeed always, spoke to me of Jesus forsaken. He was the living character in our existence.